With 80 million singles sold worldwide and 2 Grammy Awards. I'm so excited because this morning we're joined by the unbelievably talented Dua Lipa.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm really well, thank you. I'm really well.
Good.
How are you guys doing?
Yeah, we're excited to talk to you today.
Thanks for asking. I am really excited to talk to you. I'm buzzing. Matt here is a huge fan as well.
Yes.
But enough about us. Back to you.
Yeah, enough about us. Your last album was just filled to the brim with hits on hits. And you sadly had to postpone your tour like so many other artists. Like, how excited are you to perform these songs live eventually?
Oh, I'm so excited. I think because of the reason that my tour got postponed, I wanted to do this live stream show called Studio 2054. And it was mainly to be able to sing these songs and put create a whole world around them. And that was really, really exciting to be able to, I guess, recreate it in a way that I wouldn't be able to do it on tour with custom built sets in a warehouse in London. So I get to do it from home, which is great.
Yeah.
And it goes from like 80s TV studio to a roller rink to a boiler room rave vibe. It's just going to be a whole world around it, and that's been really exciting, especially getting to collaborate with all these incredible artists and guest appearances and people that are going to come and join in, which has been such a blast and such a massive learning curve as well. I've really, really enjoyed it.
It's going to be a huge production. I'm excited. And you've just released Prisoner with Miley Cyrus, which we've been listening to non-stop. What was it like working with her, and how did that collab come about?
She's amazing. We've been friends for a little while. She also performed at my festival in Kosovo called Sunny Hill. And I think we were friends prior to that, but our friendship really flourished from then on. And we always had this idea of putting a song out together. We were initially meant to put a song out probably about a year ago, and then almost felt like it didn't quite represent us because we didn't get the opportunity to get into the studio together and get to work on it together. And so we were like, okay, let's just leave it until we can get in together and really work on something that really represents both our styles. And after the lockdown happened in the UK, after the initial 4 months of lockdown, then I went to the States and I was able to get into the studio with her. And that's where Prisoner happened. And it felt like stylistically it was such a merging of both of our styles and the worlds that we were in right now in terms of our music and what we were doing, and it just felt like it fitted perfectly.
And obviously the song is it feels like it's about a guy, but is it also about 2020 feeling like a prison?
Well, I guess it does work very well with the times. It was really fun to get to recreate a whole Runaways, Joan Jett, Sherry Curie vibe with it. It was exciting. I think it just fitted who we are as well. So it was great.
I loved your last tour, the feminism, inclusivity, and zero tolerance for, shall we just say, bad men. I want to know what the vibe is from here.
Well, I guess, feminism is always something that's very important to me and something that I always stick by, whether that's, it's something that's very prominent in my life and the way that I want to present myself, but also talk about things in the way that, we are as women and the struggles that we go through and the stuff that we've done. But whether that's with, a song like Future Nostalgia, which is kind of really in your face and overly confident in order to make myself feel confident. It's got this false sense of confidence while I'm writing it in order to make myself feel more empowered.
Yeah.
To then ending the record on a song like Boys Will Be Boys, where it kind of just talks about very real and honest things about what it's like to be a woman and growing up. And all those lyrics are very much what it was like walking from the bus to go home, which was only about a 2-3 minute walk. But it would just be that thing when the second it gets dark, you immediately get nervous. You're like, okay, I have to get home before it's dark. And it's very much a conversation starter. So I don't think that's ever going to change. That's always something that's going to be very important to me, and to constantly keep that conversation going in the hope that we can maybe see some change and see some equality.
Yes.
But, I'm always working on new music, and I'm always trying to, just mature and grow and learn from my experiences. I think that's the most important thing. There was obviously quite a bit of pressure after my first record. I was like, okay, now I think I need to solidify my place as an artist and really show people that it's not just that, album. And I wanted to just be able to come back stronger, and I understood how much I needed to work in order to be the best version of myself, and what that takes. And I think a lot of that is also being a little bit out of your comfort zone, and at the same time just like staying away from any like outside opinions and just working on something that I'm really proud of and something that I felt like really represented me. And I think that's just how I'm going to continue going forward.
I mean, you're killing it. You're the most listened to female artist in the world on Spotify. Like, how does that make you feel when you hear things like that?
It's quite nuts, to be honest. But it's really cool. You know, it's really cool. I love that people love the music, and you know, it finds a home with everyone too, and that's all I could wish for, really. So I'm really grateful.
Now, Dua Lipa is still with us this morning. I wanted to ask you about the video for Fever, because it's so cool, and seeing you on a night out with people like around you reminded me of life before 2020. What do you miss
100%.
about that?
Oh my God, I miss everything about that. When we were shooting the video and we had that one club scene and we were exiting the door, and I was just like, oh my God, this is probably the closest we're going to get to any party or club this year. So it was nice to kind of revel in the moment and enjoy it and pretend that for a small moment that everything was, you know, normal. But yeah, hopefully, I mean, you know, I kind of, I did so much like partying and clubbing and stuff like that, that when I started putting music out, it was very much like getting my friends at home and cooking dinners, and then dinners are turned into house parties, and now I'm dying to get back to the club.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm never going to give you granted.
I want to know what your first request.
Close to people's sweaty bodies, and that's all I want.
Same.
Really?
Preach.
I'm dying for that.
When you're back in a club and you've got all the sweaty bodies around you, like, what's your first request? Because I've got a whole list of albums I need to hear in full. I need Future Nostalgia, Chromatica. What's your first request?
Oh, that's a hard question. Honestly, do you know what? I just don't care for anything. It can be a slow song, and I also just like, keep going. I'm up for anything, really. I'm ready to go to a party.
And we've obviously all spent a lot of time at home. Do you have any tips for positivity during these times? How do we keep ourselves positive?
I think, you know, FaceTime for me has been great. Being able to just like stay in contact with friends, family. I think that's always been something that's been really positive. I don't know. It's tough. I think every day is kind of different. You know, some days are a lot harder than others. Some days just pass by like this because you've just binge watched a whole new TV show, and then everything just feels fine for a brief moment. Yeah. I think, you know, doing things just more for like your mental health, in terms of like going out for a walk, getting some fresh air, maybe doing a little workout or something that just like, for me, it was all about trying to create a routine, whether it was at home, just something to make me feel like I was doing something and not just lounging around, because I think that just makes it kind of difficult to be able to, I don't know, find some like normality when you're just constantly in this flux of like Groundhog Day every day. So I think being able to like fill up your day with certain things. I've loved to, one thing that I did a lot of was actually read books, which I don't get the opportunity to do as much as I would like. And so I did lots of that, watched lots of TV.
What were you reading? What were you watching? What were you cooking?
I don't know, I got quite experimental. It was kind of the only time that I was able to like get a recipe out of a recipe book and cook things like 2-3 hours and make up recipes and stuff, because it was like, that was the activity for the day. It was like, what I'm going to eat was the activity. So I'm going to spend the most time doing that. I really fell in love with this incredible book called A Little Life, which actually changed my life. It's amazing. I don't think, so far, any book that I've read after that just really didn't quite hit the same. It's really touching and beautiful, but also very tragic, and I cried the whole way through. But I think something needs to move you in that way for it to be as memorable. It's incredible. I highly recommend it. It was actually shown to me by a friend, and then I think I've recommended it to all my friends to read it, and it just, I think everybody feels the same about it. So it's definitely a magical one.
Well, I'm going to check that out now. Matt, you've got a football-related question.
The internet is living at the moment, Dua Lipa, for Dua FIFA right now. How cool is it being in an actual football game?
It's really cool. I mean, I've definitely got the cool points with my little brother, who thinks I'm really cool now. And my footy techers have gotten much better because I'm rubbish in real life. So when I watch myself, I'm like, good. So it's quite nice that it just lives as a like avatar on the game, which
so
is fun.
good, so good.
But yeah, no, it's epic. It's cool.
Well, you're like the perfect person then, because I need to ask you. My husband's obsessed with FIFA and it's actually getting in the way of our marriage. So can you give me some pointers to get good on the game? Because then maybe I can actually spend time with him if I get involved and play against him, beat him.
I think practice makes perfect. I'm definitely there with my boyfriend. I think I'm always trying to play, and then he's always just a bit like, "You're not that good," so I need to play with my friends. Fun that way. But I think it's the enthusiasm. You just got to keep pushing for it. You're like, well, I'm going to get really good at this, and then you'll see. You're going to want to play with me.
Yes, and I'm going to play as you as well, just to give me that extra motivation.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Such a pleasure to chat to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it.
We love you loads. See you again soon. Take care.
See ya.